friends, welcome back to She Chef Drinks. We are yet again in a rush to make lunch before I go to work. So one of the questions that I get is, how do I make a quick, healthy meal, right? That's delicious. And I also get a lot of questions about using my pressure cooker, because I use my pressure cooker almost every single day. Okay, so this is one of the ways I'm able to churn out quick, healthy meals, right? Like beans that are completely dry to cook very, very quickly, like frozen chicken, and we forgot to take it out of the fridge, right? Or we forgot to take it out of the freezer, right? How am I gonna cook that chicken? You throw it in your pressure cooker. So don't be afraid of the pressure cooker. Pull it out of the box. I know it was probably a wedding gift or something that is just collecting dust, right? But don't be afraid of it. Let's use it. I'm gonna show you how I like to use it on a regular, just kind of daily basis, all right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with the sear, where is it here? Let me see. The sear saute function, right? So I'm just gonna turn that on. Now your model might be a little bit different, but every pressure cooker usually has some form of a sear, okay? That gets the pot going and gets it warm, right? So what I've got here is from Aldi, not sponsored of course. These are the chicken thighs. I always prefer chicken thighs in the pressure cooker because they can take a little bit more of a beating from the heat and are still delicious and moist. And these are frozen solid, right? We've also got some lentils here that are completely raw, uncooked. And then I've got my little menagerie of sauces. I'm doing a barbecue lentil and chicken today, but of course you can do any sauce that you like in there, but this is my recipe for barbecue sauce. So let's get going. All right, so how I usually would start this would be I would have onions and garlic chopped and sauteed in here, but I don't have any. I don't have time to chop. I don't feel like chopping, and there's onion powder and garlic powder in my seasoning. So let's just start throwing some stuff in there. All right, so as you can see, I'm going right in there with frozen solid, just so you know, I'm not, no TV magic here, frozen solid chicken, okay? Then I'm gonna take my rinsed and sorted lentils. I'm just gonna dump out some of this water here that they've been soaking in for a bit. This is really just to clean them more than anything, right? Everything is going right in the pot, right? Easy enough so far, right? You just throw it in. All right, and now here's where we get going with just adding flavors and liquid. Now liquid is a really important component with your Instant Pot. If you don't add liquid, you're gonna, it won't even, I don't even know if it'll seal. So always make sure you add some liquid to your pressure cooker. I have lentils in here. I have about a cup of lentils. So because I want a nice creamy lentil, I'm gonna add 2 parts water to 1 part lentil, all right? Now in goes my seasoning. I've been loving this amazing burger. This is again, Aldi, an Aldi seasoning, really, really delicious. It's got like smoke and tomato powder and all of that. So, you know, season with your heart, right? So I want a good amount of seasoning in there. I like my food to have flavor. All right, next I'm going in with some ketchup. Let's do about 1/4 cup of ketchup, okay? Again, super fast, right in there, right? We've got some Worcestershire sauce. We're gonna go about 2 tablespoons of that. But again, remember, this is all you as far as what you like, how much you wanna add. I'm gonna go about a tablespoon of soy sauce, right? It's the gluten-free kind, it's really, really good. All right, I'm gonna go in maybe about, you know how I love my liquid smoke, about 10 drops of this liquid smoke. This is the mesquite flavor, really, really delicious. I love how it adds a smoky flavor to so many different things without having to have a smoker, right? And then next I've got my stone ground mustard from Aldi, of course. You know, gotta love Aldi. Great budget brand. Oh yeah, did I mention that this is budget friendly too? It's whole meal, budget friendly. About a tablespoon of mustard on that. All right, Sweetness to taste, again, this is gonna be a preferential thing. You could do brown sugar with this. I don't have any brown sugar. So I'm gonna go about 2 tablespoons of honey on that. We've already got a little bit of sugar in our ketchup, right? So we don't have to go so crazy. Now, this is an interesting ingredient. If you don't have it, just use chipotle and adobo sauce. This is a Peruvian ingredient called ají panca. It's really, really good. Kind of a smoky chili flavor to it. It's a dark red chili, it's delicious. It's not crazy spicy, like ají amarillo, which is a yellow chili paste, is much spicier. Now, if I had more time, I would be cooking this in with the onions and garlic that I chopped and sauteed, but I don't have time. I'm in a rush, I gotta go to work. All right, and then I'm gonna do just a little bit of apple cider vinegar to cut the acidity, right? So let's go about a tablespoon. You can always add more when it's done cooking, but that's where I like to start. Now, the one seasoning that my amazing burger seasoning from Aldi didn't have was cumin. So I'm gonna add a little bit of cumin, just a touch, right? A pinch of cumin. All I'm gonna do is stir this up, okay? Now this is a non-stick pot, so I try not to get too scrapey at the bottom because I want to try and preserve it for as long as I can. Although I've had this pressure cooker for many, many years. It's probably due for a new one. All we're gonna do now, are you ready? I'm gonna grab this lid, right? Meanwhile, this has been heating up and you can see that timer is counting down, right? You just pop it on here. Ooh, the song of deliciousness. All right, so we have a vent and we have a seal, right? You'll see there's like a little poof here that looks like it looks like a little cloud, right? Again, yours might be different, but make sure that you've got this in the sealing position. Sealing position, it's really, really important. All right, so let's take a look here. I'm gonna hit the chicken button, so I'm gonna hit stop because it's still in sear mode, so we gotta change it. So I'm gonna hit chicken, that's gonna do it for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna hit start. Inside here, everything's gonna build, right? The pressure's gonna build in here, and then in 20 minutes, we are going to have delicious, fully cooked chicken and lentils. It takes usually about 10 minutes for it to build up pressure. So about 20, 30 minutes, we're gonna have delicious chicken. We'll check back in when it's done. See you later. All right, we're back. So this cooked for about 20 minutes, which means that we're gonna have shreddable chicken. It's not gonna be sliceable, it's gonna be shreddable, right? This cooked for 20 minutes and I let it natural release, right? For about 5 minutes. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna release the steam on this. Now, here's where the steam is gonna come out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step back. Now, I've been cooking with this vessel for a long, long time, so I'm used to it, right? But you wanna make sure you step back, and then some people like to use the edge of a spoon to kind of let the pressure release. I don't, I just use my hand. But in general, I don't recommend putting anything over top of your steam. You wanna let the steam vent. I see people do that, right? What that ends up resulting in is you can see there's a little bit of pulling away here of this handle. That's from the heat of the steam because I have covered this during steam releases. So I would not recommend that you do that. Just let it do its thing. So I'm gonna let this steam release. Are you ready? Right? So you wanna let this continue to release until you see this little metal pin that's right here, and I don't want the cameraman to get too close, but this little metal pin here is going to drop down, and that's basically the lock that allows this to open. So as you can hear, it's getting a lot less now, so it's almost fully released. And then it should drop right about now. There we go. All right, so we're gonna open it up. Now there's gonna be steam under here. Nothing is gonna explode out or anything, don't be afraid, right? But it is gonna be hot. So you're gonna turn this, so now it's unlocked. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift up. So I'm gonna lift up and then turn it upwards because I don't wanna get a steam burn, right? So it's gonna look like this, up, okay? okay? One quick movement, don't be afraid of it, right? But you don't want your hand to linger there for too long, because yeah, it is hot. All right, so let's see what we got here. We've got our lentils that are fully cooked, all right? And then we've got our chicken, which is super duper soft. So let's take a look at both. We're gonna pull this out. I will say, you know how I love to smell everything. It smells delicious. So take a look at the cook on those chicken thighs, right? They just fall apart. Shreddable, beautiful chicken. All right, so let's try a little bite of the chicken. Make sure everything is tasting good. You know, I gotta quality check it. Oh yeah. Okay, juicy, flavorful, delicious. The lentils are really creamy, fully cooked nice through. They may even be a little bit too cooked because they've cooked in there with the chicken, right? But they're still gonna be delicious. It just depends on how you like your lentils cooked. This came out great. So again, this took me about maybe 30, 35 minutes to cook and put together. So now I've got fully cooked, delicious shredded chicken, lentils together in the pressure cooker. So hey, go grab a pressure cooker, make some delicious food, healthy, quick. Don't be afraid of the pressure cooker. All right, I hope you tried this recipe. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you on the next one. Bye guys.